Hello. Today I am talking about culture. Now, the culture wars are pretty crazy. Um, between, you know, there's two sides and there seems, um, and, you know, people get canceled, people get yelled at or killed or, I mean, it's just so crazy. To get caught up in um, not just judged, but like, you know, I had a good friend of mine that we played games for 7, 8 years. And all it took was one post. Um, about my opinion about something or sharing a different opinion, um and I was blocked and I was told that I was an enemy, basically. And you can see that a lot today, especially in America, but around the globe. um and basically I am worried about America. And um it has not. I haven't seen it so much divided, uh, and it shouldn't be like that. Um, and I'm not making these videos. I'm not the most charismatic person in the world, as you can tell. Um, Obviously, don't even look like, yeah, well, professional YouTuber and so forth. But I do want to share my experiences with with culture, because I've seen both sides. From being growing up extremely Christian, conservative, and then going going more liberal, and now I'm moderate. So it is definitely um a heated topic nowadays. Um, Especially based on, the algorithm. Um, there's algorithms based on if you're a left or leftist or a rightist, basically, is videos that you see. Um, but anyway, regardless of that, is when when it comes to LGBT issues, um, I do not like um, when these people walk into the girls' bathroom and take photos of themselves and then post them online. Um, you know, I transition my body, but it doesn't mean that I'm necessarily female. Obviously, there's still, you can change your body. You can even You can change your set. You can modify. All you can do is modify. So you're more at peace with body that you have, compared to before. In a lot of cases, especially giving hormones, surgeries, and puberty blockers, there is a lot of risk involved. Um, like it's not a perfect thing. If people tell you, oh yeah, you'll just go from being a boy to a girl, and that's it. Well, guess what? I am still. I have been born male, so I'm still male, even though I present female. And and that is basically the truth. I was on the bandwagon a little bit on the left side, where trans women are women and so forth, and I um, quickly realized how irrational it is, despite them or me wanting to actually, okay, let's to be an actual girl instead of a boy. That's not going to happen. I have not had, I've not grown up as a girl. I've not have had girl puberty, understand motherhood. No, I don't believe that trans women can um, ovulate because they don't have ovaries. I mean, they don't have, unless they're intersex. They don't have the uterus or ovaries. So um, people need to really get in line with reality. Back to reality, which I am um not not you know I'm, like I said, I'm moderate, which means I don't agree with everything for this at current administration, and definitely not for the last one either. So um I completely blame the medical establishment for um, taking um, getting well, probably getting pressured to take um, the gender dysphoria off out as a medical condition, because it is a medical condition. I'm diagnosed with it at my hospitals, at my the care that I receive, and it is it is a condition, and I think it's really ridiculous to say that, oh, I'm trans, but I don't have gender dysphoria. Well, I'm sorry, but you know, I don't think this is, I don't think that person should be able to get on hormones and transition for their, because I know that it will most likely kill their quality of life. As far as other things in their life, which when I started my transition, I was scanning through all these had a bunch of friends lists and so forth. I I started to find out that there's a lot of people since transitioning that are worse off. Now, you know, I do not regret transitioning. I do. I would end up regretting it if, you know, I die, go to God, and he's like, well, you shouldn't transition, you know. I would regret it then, of course I would. I think we need at least some sort of permission if you believe in God, to first alter your body, in such a state. It's like we're not gods. We're not gods. But basically, yeah. So I completely am upset with the not, you know, that people don't have to go to therapy and walk around as the other gender for a year before they can start doing transitions and so forth. I think that was perfect. There were few, and now since anybody can just say, "Oh, I'm trans," and this and that, we have all kinds of people coming in and making a mockery of people who are genuinely suffering with gender dysphoria. And and I know that Obama made that move. I'm also not for blocking adults from transition, because they can choose, and it should be just like, like before. And given the research that I've seen for children with puberty blockers and how that destroys, first of all, doesn't grow their needed organs, but also blocks them from having a period, and that includes it mentally. Um, I don't think you can sit there. It's not like you block it and then you start hormones, and I mean you get off of puberty blockers, and then you have your puberty. um I think it comes at a certain age, and it's part of development. So um and there's a lot of regret. There's a lot of extreme regret, and my heart goes out to them. um but those are my thoughts. So I know that there's those that um think that we need to that everybody, that all blocks, it should just be a free for all, basically. um and then that that's a huge red flag. And also, coming from a Christian myself, I don't believe that would be the answer, especially given that um, some of the stuff I've seen on some extreme cases, given um, some people trying to destroy the God's creation and disform humans and um, disfigure the image of God. Um, and of course, show Baphomet with it. Well, gee, I wonder where that's coming from. I think it's coming from. I think it's kind of a push towards what what Satan wants and not what God wants. So I would say no to that. No to that. And I pray for this generation and the upcoming generation. It seems to get worse and worse. With now horns are getting implanted in people, and people are getting into all kinds of things. And then we have the furries. And it all comes down to self-loathing, or something. I don't know with that, but this needs to be um the extremism needs to be stopped, and there needs to be some sort of good study on how we can best support trans people um, without getting into the extreme left or right about things. Conversion therapy doesn't work. It's suppression. It comes back up, and while you're getting PTSD, basically. So there needs to be an answer to this. I don't have it, but Except the answer is through the relationship of Christ. Um, that's the important thing, and that is the only thing that would get us through to wherever He takes us, because He's God and He is love, and all these other distractions and forces and things tugging at us, making us hate each other, is only causing havoc and giving into what the enemy wants. So I leave you with that, and those are my thoughts.